Good morning, everybody, and welcome to P&M in the AM. That's right. I am your host, Mike Laro, and for right now, it's just me. Pat's still figuring out his internet issues. Al will be joining us in just a little bit as well. He's dealing with some technical difficulties as well. So right now, guys, you got me. Let's get right into the horse in the room that was brought up the other night. I'm going to actually put this up on the screen right now. Right here, Zach Wheeler to have a second surgery uh, for his blood clot removal. As you can see right here, estimated time is between 6 and 8 months. This is not good news for the Phillies, but hey, I think this might be a rallying cry for these guys. You lose your best, most dominated pitcher uh, on there. Aaron Nola looked pretty good last night. Just to say the least, if we can get this kind of moving forward from Aaron, I think the Phillies are going to be okay. You can't replace a Zach Wheeler, but this Phillies team, they're just going to have to mash. This is how they're going to have to go out and try to, win a World Series. Right now, their pitching staff is taking a huge blow. Duran Friday night looked, he's normal. He's going to blow saves. Gave up a couple of hits last night. So he's not automatic. So, going forward with this Phillies team, I mean, they're really going to have to really kind of dig in. Big ups last night to Harrison Bader going 3 for 4 last night. He was the only Philly that had more than one hit looking at this last night. But their lead is still 6 games right now over the Mets as they get ready to finish out this series with the Washington Nationals before they go up to Flushing for that big 3-game set starting tomorrow. So, I mean, the Phils got it right there in front of them. They could be up as much as 9. After Wednesday, they could be up as much as 3. So it really kind of depends on them going forward here with this week. And I'll tell you what, today, they got to set the tone today. They got to take this series win. Hopefully the Braves can get a win down in Atlanta over these Mets. And you can definitely go and see, who's going to be doing what. Right now, for me, I'm a little worried about our pitching staff a little bit. I know Ranger kind of looked good in the bounce back, but really, it's really just Christopher Sanchez really right now. Luzardo's been up and down. Ranger, his second half has been up and down. Nola's just coming back off an injury. Hopefully, last night was a sign of things to come. He had a pretty decent game last night as he went 6 innings. Let me take a look right here. Hold on. He went 6 innings. There it is. 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. So to me, he did really, really good. David Robinson coming in last night in the 7th inning, just struck out the side. That was really good. Matt Strahm is starting to worry me. He has not been the Matt Strahm of old. He did get 2 strikeouts, but he also gave up an earned run. So with that being said, Orion Kirkeren had to, he had to come in, and then Duran had to come in. Duran actually gave up 2 hits and recorded a strikeout. So that was your Phillies pitching numbers. If you're looking at the batting order, really Trey Turner was 1 for 3 going into last night. Kyle Schwarber took a collar last night, did not produce at all. Bryce Harper was 1 for 4. JT Realmuto was 1 for 4. Bohm was 1 for 3 with a walk. Castellanos carried a collar last night with a walk. Bader 3 for 4, as I said. Amundo Sosa was 1 for 3 with a walk. Or no, I'm sorry, 1 for 3. He had a home run, and Weston Wilson carried a collar last night. So that was your Phil's lineup in a nutshell last night. Now, my thing with this is this Phillies team, I need to know what's going to happen today. I mean, what is really going to happen? I need to see. I'm looking to see who the starting pitching is today, but unfortunately, it didn't give me a of who's going today. So hopefully, I can see who's starting today for the Phillies as they go into the play of the Nationals, or as the Nationals come here today. Let's see who they have. it should have us of who's pitching. Let me dig this up for you. Oh, Ranger goes today against Irwin. Irwin's is 8-8 with a 5.30 ERA, 97 strikeouts. Ranger is 9-6 with a 3.25 ERA. With 111 strikeouts. So that will be your game today at 1:35. So should be a pretty interesting day today looking around the league. The Yankees Red Sox take top billing tonight as they prepare to play Sunday Night Baseball. But there's been some really, really good series over this weekend. You have the you have the Mets, or I'm sorry, you have the Giants and the Brewers who've been playing pretty decent. You've had, you've had the Giants and Brewers. You've also had, what was the other one that I was watching? It was pretty. Oh, Reds and Diamondbacks, who were still kind of into it with each other. Padres and Dodgers, Yankees, Red Sox. So there's been a really good stream of baseball that has been really played over this last weekend. And then, like I said, looking forward to that. Matty B will have you covered today. Matter of fact, Matty B will be on most of the day today, as he will also have you for the Fightins final. And then right after the Fightins final tonight, that's right, me and Matty B, that's right. We've been telling you guys this. We have just with everything that kind of went on from baseball or from hockey in the baseball season, we never got a chance to do a reaction for the Flyers 24-25 season. So me and Matty B will be on the call with that later on tonight. And then, of course, Matty will be back in his normal time slot right here Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m. for the final word. So make sure you guys tune in. Matt will have probably this day in sports history, one of my favorite segments on his show, going up there. Thursday night, that's right. Steve Fuentes and Pat Bernard, that's right. They would be on with the attacking third. Hopefully, Pat's almost getting close to getting his internet situation rectified. So Steve will be on talking everything MLS and the Philadelphia Union. Also, Friday night, this Friday night, there will be a return of the wraparound. There will be no preseason game. So the wraparound at 10:30, either myself or Pat will be on the call on that one. So make sure you jump in on that. Again, Sunday mornings will never be the same. You have me, Pat, and Al, and make sure you guys tune into that. We're always here making sure that you get your Philly sports knowledge. And don't forget, guys, also follow us on It's a Wrap TikTok as well. We will be doing our meal of the day. Me and Pat have been showing you guys. Al's been kind of like lunching on that, but I'm pretty sure he'll join us. He'll probably join in on that somewhat in the future. But make sure you check that out again every Sunday morning. The birds fly by. That's right. Getting ready. September 4th. That's right. There you have it. The birds fly by, the official pregame show here on It's a Wrap Sports Network. Make sure you guys tune in right after the final whistle. But speaking of the birds, our guy Kyle Quinn, that's right. Yeah, he comes back. Him and Matty B, Birds Blast, debuting Tuesday, September 2nd at 7 o'clock. Also, one of the new shows here, that's right, the Happy Valley Huddle, hosted by yours truly. That's right, following every Penn State football game. Yours truly will be here going above and beyond, covering those Penn State Nittany Lions. So number 2 ranked Penn State Nittany Lions, I might add. So definitely make sure you check us out about that. And also another show that's coming into the works, which will be debuting on the 3rd of September. It is Props, Locks, and Parlays. That's right. It's kind of a little shekels, and we look at all the prop bets in college and pro football, player props. What I think is a lock, and whoever I have as a guest on, we will be doing 3 college, 3 pros, and your top player props for that week of NFL and NCAA football. So there you have it, guys. There is our schedule leading into it. And hey, he's made it. Morning, buddy.
Morning, buddy.
I kind of let everybody in on the Zach Wheeler news, kind of talking about what was going on today.
I'm not breaking it to them, but I get what you're saying. It's I'm still nursing my drinks down.
I could tell. Well, Al, I got to ask you. Going forward now with this Phillies team, I said they're pretty much going to have to start matching because we don't know what we're getting. Just basically out of two pitchers. I mean, you have Ranger and Luzardo. They're kind of up and down. The only constant one that we have right now in this um, lineup, I guess, of pitching um, is Christopher Sanchez. Everybody else is kind of a coin flip.
I'm hoping time for Nola will get him back to, Nola's strength between now and October. Definitely. But no, it's got to be a team thing, and it's got to be a team galvanizing thing. And I saw, I was on Twitter last night, pretty active, checking things out. One person put something out there, or two people actually. Win it for Wheeler. I love that. What he's going through is it's it's a little scary in some senses that this can be. And I think Nooms talked about earlier. I was looking on the comments here while I was waiting for you to bring me in, and I think he touched on it. It's the venous versus the nerve thoracic outlet syndrome, but still, thoracic outlet syndrome is a problem. And it's not like one of those things like, oh, you have the surgery and you're done, all the time for people. So let's hope it is for him. And he just gets better because he's out. We have to learn with life without Wheeler right now. We got to see if this team has the gumption, the attitude, the everything that they need to do to pick him up and pick this whole team up, move forward. And that's with pitching as well as Bryce Harper, Schwarber, Trey Turner, all those guys. It has to be across the board. I don't want, can they still do it? Sure. Is that sledding just got a lot tougher? Absolutely. I saw that the Vegas bopped them down from number 1 to the number 2 spot, which is kind of funny because they put the Dodgers above us, but the Dodgers have more pitching woes than we've had, even losing. Losing Zach Wheeler is like losing an arm almost. Like it's a big thing. Like it's not something you can just, all right, I lost a piggy toe. All right, we can move, we can keep moving forward. Nobody will even know the difference. And here's how I look at it is, this town is notoriously known for winning championships with losing big, important people. And somebody brought up the Nick Foles comparison. I'm like, that's kind of close. I mean, you and there's no Nick Foles, but you lost Carson Wentz, who was having an MVP caliber year. You lose Wheeler, who's having an NL Cy Young caliber year. But we have one other guy who's in the running for it. So we can't look past that. I mean, listen, having Zach Wheeler as your first punch with Christopher Sanchez as your third punch and Nola and whoever else you had, or your second punch, and then Nola and whoever else you had as your third punch would really have made this rotation just disgusting. And not to be, again, I'm going to get probably that Homer tag slap on me a few times, but honestly, this team can still win it.
Oh, I think so too. I mean, just look around baseball. I mean, really, the only team that's really kind of ahead of everything is the Brewers right now. And the Brewers, I just looked up like their splits throughout the National League, and I think like other than the Brewers, who were 10 games over 500 on the road, everybody else is within is either 5 games over 500 or less, going down the whole National League. So to me, I feel like the Phillies still have a fighting chance in this. They're just going to have to pop their way out of it, man. That's all there is to it.
And maybe it's, I don't want to say that, again, it sounds cliche in the kind of way of saying it, but like maybe it's kind of what this team needs to know, that they can't just rely on their pitching to get them through everything. That might be what, whatever the slap in the face certain guys need to have to to step to that next level, to bring this team to that next level. And looking around the MLB, like I said, no team scares me. American League, no team scares me. They have good teams. I'm not looking past them, but they don't have a team that I'm like, oh my God, they're just dominant. I mean, the most dominant team is the Brewers. And I hope I'm not sounding like I'm looking past these teams, but I just feel like this has been one of the, on paper, if you look at in the last since 2022, they weren't, nobody saw them in the World Series. Maybe us Phillies fans a little bit, but like legitimately nobody saw them in there. Then of course 2023 we did because of that, but that was when we had the big letdown against Arizona. And then last year, the slap in the face that they took against the Mets, this, and now the Mets look like they're barely gonna, I don't know, I don't think they make the playoffs at this point. Like, to be honest with you,
I tell you what,
I,
it's going to be a rough road for them to make it, because like if you look, man, their whole their whole whatchamacallit is just their whole pitching staff, like they can't get past 5 innings.
no, and I mean, what I hear, like since before last night, I think in the last 21 games they were 5 for 16. Good morning, Adam. I know I didn't go. We get into touch on these. This is
Yeah,
what we're talking about with Nooms. It's venous thoracic outlet syndrome is a way better prognosis than nerve thoracic outlet syndrome. Absolutely. It's going to need to be 08 style, with Sanchez being Hamels and Nola being Myers. Yeah, I mean, that could. Yeah, no, I mean, that's a very good comparison, Nooms. He's absolutely right. The big concern: no reliable right-handed starter. No truly reliable left-handed relief pitcher. Banks against good hitters still head creeps me. I get it, but again, kind of like, what's his name? Duran. I mean, what really changed since Duran? We had added Duran, and they added um what's his face? Robertson. But this is still the same bullpen we've always had. Yet we feel a whole lot more confident because guys have spots, especially Duran. And if you can keep that lead for 1 or 2 runs, there's a very high chance that they're going to be able to win that with him. So
yeah, like I said, and last night was a really good. Thanks, Ryan. Had a lot of help on that post.
yeah, Pat was
Joe
behind
Great.
sing him.
Yeah, he was. Joe, right here, 6 innings of 3-run ball by Nola. I'll take that from him. And you know what? And that's what I think we're going to have to.
That's the funny part, is that, and I agree with you, Joe Sullivan. I agree 1,000%. But it's so funny that if Zach Wheeler didn't get hurt and somebody said that, they'd be like, oh, it's bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? It's just so funny how certain circumstances will change that. Because that's really what we've been getting from Aaron Nola for years. So all suddenly it changes. LA won with the World Series limping and an arm tied behind their back. Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's my thing. That's why I'm saying, like, to say this team is out of it, no. But to act like this isn't a giant gut punch.
Oh shit. Yeah, I had a break. I skipped the comment there. It says, I think that's something that we're going to have to build in. And like I said, the Mets do have a lot of injuries, but you know what, though? They got their 3 main pitchers back off of injury. I think they just DFA'd Frankie Montañez, though. I think they got rid of
and their bats are still there for the most part. So, I mean, yes, they're dealing with injuries. LA's dealing with injuries. We've dealt with injuries. We didn't have Nola for a good portion of the year. I mean, everybody deals with injuries. It's part of it. To sit there and say, oh, because we have 11 injuries, is the Mets they weren't doing good before the injuries. Call for what it's worth. And you ask even Mets, like, I was looking around on like social media, a lot of TikToks and everything like that, and Mets fans are done. They're just like, even it's like they like kind of like Dallas fans a little bit have become over the last year or two. Like,
Speaking of Dallas fans and,
yeah.
and counting on the Mets, I mean, come on. If you've watched baseball, Dave, over the last month, there's no way you can sit here and tell me you feel confident that this Mets team can.
Yeah, Dave, are you
betting
the house on the Mets making the playoffs?
Anything can happen. You're right. Anything can happen. But what's probably going to happen is the Reds are going to overtake them. If you've watched the Mets, hell, I'll give you a guy. His name's Pudgy Mike. He was our guest about a month back. Go follow him on TikTok. He puts out Met content every day. Even he is fed up and done with the Mets. Even with them winning 2 down in Atlanta. They see the doom and gloom coming with this team.
Yeah, and let me remind you, they were only a half game behind them until they started playing the Reds. So they've been lucky to play the Reds to get full games ahead of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Well,
if
the
they
Reds,
were,
the Reds are tripping out in Arizona. That's what
yeah,
kind of killed them. They had a pretty
yeah.
brutal schedule. They had the Giants, and then
The Mets are 5-5 in their last 10 games. They're on a 3-game losing streak. The Mets are on a 2-game losing streak with two. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. So the point is don't and like I really want to look at it like this is where schedule watching comes into. I mean, you're about to trip into September.
Mhm.
That means we're about 5 weeks left of baseball left, and this next week is one of the most important because you're sitting there going, oh, they're 2.5 games out. But if the Phillies continue to play and they play them hard and they win the series against the Mets, that 2.5 games becomes a half a game pretty quickly. Especially if the Reds have a nice little win streak or anybody right behind them.
Hey, look,
So listen, I get it. Dave's always the guy who's going to come in and like rub some salt in it, or he's going to try to bring the Debbie Downer aspect. No offense, Dave, but just you always have that other thing could happen. Yes, it could happen, and I'm not saying it can't. But let me ask you, in your heart of heart, if I said, Dave Yarnell, you have to take all the money your house, your car, everything you have to yourself, and you had to put it on the Mets winning or getting into the playoffs right now.
I mean, hey, Dave wants to take that bet with me. I'll take his money.
Like
I don't see the Mets doing it. If the Mets were playing decent ball, I could sit there and say that. But like I said, I follow guys like Mike, and Mike puts out content every day about the Mets, and I watch about the Mets, and because I want to see what's going on, I want to see what's being reported up out of there, because I knew this 3-game series, which by the way starts tomorrow. Okay, we got to go to Flushing for 3 games. So I'm not really worried about, again, the worst case scenario, the Phillies are 3 when they leave Flushing. Best case scenario, they're 9. If they're 7 or 8, they just added on to their lead and shrunk their magic numbers. So, again, and we do have a 4-game set with them next week here. But it gets a little brutal, Al, because we go from Flushing to Milwaukee. You know what I mean? So we got to play the Bruins.
We go to Flushing, back to here, back then to Milwaukee. They play the Braves in between.
Oh, they play the Braves. Okay, all right.
Well, so that was what I was trying to. I was just going to say there anyway. This game today is a really big game, and in my eyes, it's almost a must win. Not a completely must win, but almost a must win. But in that sense, this is the last game against the Nats you're going to see all year. And the Nats have been what their name is. Nats, like pesky bugs in our face, somehow just always keeping the Phillies not rarely, just keeping them in arm's length at all times during the game. And then as we saw Duran, a little human side from him Friday night. I did a post-game show on that one right before you did an amazing Eagles post-game show.
Man, that was brutal. That was brutal. That was so brutal. Matty B owes me double. Not only did I have to watch that game, I had to come in here and talk about that game.
Yeah, I had that on the second screen. And I was watching, and like every by the fourth quarter, I'm like, I remember right before there was like 19-11 or whatever it was. I'm just sitting there going, you got to be kidding me. Mike's got it. This is what makes it tough. Listen, you don't watch the 4th preseason game of in this case, the 3rd preseason game of an Eagles. You just want to see those bubble guys if they get a little extra oomph in their step. That's pretty much what you're watching for. You're not watching for scores. You're not watching for big time plays. You're not watching for a win. You're watching just to see who or may make that bubble. And
we're gonna get into that too.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But my ultimate point with this situation is they're done with the Nats, but this is an NL East run, so this is 3 games against the Nats, 3 games against the Mets in Flushing, and then 3 games against the Braves back here in 4 games against the Braves back here in South Philly. So all beatable teams, but it's divisional, so anything can go. That's how I look at it. So if you can come out on the winning side of this, say you win, but the win today, it's a win against the series against the Nats. You win the series against the Braves, and you can at least go 2-2 or better against that's the Braves, the Mets, and go 2-2 against the Braves.
I think the Braves are done. I mean, they had to put Austin Riley. He's going for the year.
Oh, well, I mean, they're
they're a shell.
The only 3 teams worse off of them in the wild card standings are the Pirates, the Nationals, and the Rockies.
My boy Mike Papper checking in saying today's game is a must win. All these games are must wins without Wheeler.
Listen, I get it. I get it 100%. I get it. Listen. This Wheeler, there will be so many ifs and buts with the whole Wheeler situation. If they don't win this, but they come real close to winning it all. If Wheeler was here, we would have won it. Like that's what people are going to be saying. You know what I mean? You take out. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it, the best player on the team because Wheeler was.
Listen, he was the Cy Young this year. I don't care what anybody says. He was winning that Cy Young this year. It was his turn to win.
And go get it and let him go dedicated to Wheeler and just. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to be. Yes, Nooms. I said that on Friday night too. And by the way, I gotta give Nooms some credit here. I don't know when it was. It could have been when it was on Phil Stifel's morning show or SCTP or on one of our post game shows or something. But Nooms did say at one point when Wheeler injury came down, he goes, "Man, do I hope it's not thoracic outlet syndrome." And he was right. He was the first person to use that term. I know what thoracic outlet syndrome is from my work. I deal more with the nerve version than the venous version. But it is a gross and scary, not gross, but a scary type situation, which I've seen people end their careers on. Markel Fultz, remember when they're having problems with him and his injuries? That's what they thought he had was thoracic outlet syndrome from that phantom motorcycle accident that nobody knew if he had or not. Whatever car accident, whatever he had. So, yeah, but the Nats are the new Marlins. I mean, that's what the Marlins were. Remember, we go to Miami, no matter how bad the Marlins were, we always had like this
fight with them.
And I still remember the one game we were up on them like 11-2, and they came back and won the game like 18-13 or something like that. It was like outlandish, and it was like that game sticks with me, and I guess it sticks with the guys a little bit too. And it just goes to show you how things like that, how baseball can do that to people. Like let's keep San Fran out of the playoffs because I do not want to go.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to go to San Fran. I want to stay out of Oracle Park as much as humanly possible.
Arizona as well. As well.
They don't play well. Well, Arizona's 5.5 games out. So let's just real quick before we move on. I'm going to touch on where they are in the standings and touch on what they have ahead of them, because like I said, the Phillies are 75-54. They have one less loss than the Cubs, who are in the top of the NL wild card. So right now we're second overall in baseball, right behind the Brewers. Well, not right behind, but behind enough. And then the Padres just snuck in the first place, or not, recently. Yeah. So they're in first place. So now you got in the wild card, 5.5 game lead in the wild card, Chicago Cubs, who are, I think, 5.5 games behind their team too, to get in the first place. That's if the Brewers start to fall apart. And I got to see if because there's a lot of schedule watching, and what I mean by that is, are the Cubs? How many times are the Cubs playing the Brewers?
They're done.
I'm gonna touch on that. Are they done?
I think they're done. I think the only one, I think that if they do, they have like one series left. They just played each other last weekend.
All right. So right now, this is what you're looking at. So the Brewers are playing San Fran, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go on to play the Diamondbacks on a West Coast trip. So they have a 4-game series against the Diamondbacks. Then they're in Toronto, which could be a dogfight for them because Toronto's
a good team. They're in first place.
And Diamondbacks are trying to maybe sneak into the playoffs. So they're right behind, what's it called? The Reds right now. So we'll be looking at that. Then they come to play us, as you know, for 3 games. Then they play the Pirates. Then they play the Rangers, who are also trying to fight to get in the playoffs. Then they have 2. It's a weird. I don't know why it's on the schedule like that, but it's weird. But then they have a 3-game series against the Cardinals, which is divisional, but I know the Cardinals are really kind of out of it for the most part.
Well, no, they're not that far out of it, so they were still fighting for a spot too.
Cardinals are 4th in their division.
Yeah, I know, but if you look at overall, I think they're
right behind Diamondbacks. They're both 5.5. Okay, you're right. I didn't see that. And then you got the Brewers take on the Angels. They take on the Cardinals again. Then they have a fight with the Padres, but that's at the end of the season. So, and they have to play the Reds last 3 games. So the Reds are still in that fight to try to against the Mets in that last wild card spot. I mean, they don't have the toughest of tough sledding, but they don't have an easy series either. So easy left of the season either.
No, and I think, and if I think right, I think that I'm pretty sure that Anaheim series. I think that's in Anaheim, or is that in
No, I
Milwaukee?
think that was in Milwaukee.
That
I
was
just
in
looked
Milwaukee.
up that.
All
Yeah.
right, but I mean, even still, I mean, they have to go and win this game. We can definitely, I definitely agree with you on this one, Steve. Nooms, I definitely agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
This kid here, but we're gonna
All right,
get more
touch
into
on
that
that.
when we touch on that. But what are you looking for today? You think Ranger gets a W today against this Nats team? The guy
We need Ranger. We went from having so many starting pitching.
to like now we're kind of like scarce.
Now we got to get guys locked in, and it's like at this point we're gonna do a 6-man rotation. I don't know if anybody watched. I did kind of check in on the Iron Pigs last night. Mr. Andrew Painter was playing last night, or was pitching last night. And he had a decent out. I'm actually going to pull up his. I had his stats earlier, but it went away. Hold on one second here. But that's is he going to be called up? Do you think they call him up now? Somebody asked me that question on Twitter. Do they call up Andrew Painter now, just at least to see if he can be another rotational starter?
Why not? Why not? You know what I mean? Bring him up
and still do that 6-game, six pitcher rotation is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, Mick Abel's making his debut today for the Twins. I saw that on Twitter. He makes his debut today. So they're, believe it or not, I think it's sold
Not
out.
today. It was yesterday.
Oh, was it yesterday? Okay.
Oh, yeah, he let up a grand slam.
Did he really?
Oh yeah, he in the second inning. I think I tweeted it out last night. He made his debut last night, and second inning he let up a grand slam. Yeah.
I feel bad for him. Joe, that might be right there, buddy.
What did he say? I didn't see it.
I said Phillies versus Brewers will decide who gets number 1 seed.
Yeah, I mean that's a big thing. I mean, it'll help Phillies possibly keep it in their hands a little bit more, because that's right now. Listen, they have a decent lead over the Phillies. Let's just call it for what it's worth. But by the way, Painter was the night before. It wasn't last night. It was on Friday night. Sorry. He went 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. So not bad. Not bad at all.
This is a good comment right here. Be great if Painter could turn into Marty Bystrom type effort.
Yeah, God.
I'm pretty sure you heard the stories about the once well-traveled Marty Bystrom.
Yes, but my thing with this is it might be the right opportunity for Painter. You have to get another probably starting arm in here just in case, because right now with your rotation from top to bottom, you're looking at Christopher Sanchez to Nola to Luzardo to Nola to Ranger to Luzardo, and then Taijuan Walker. By the way, give Taijuan Walker his flowers.
Yes.
So,
yeah,
I was one of those guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I was one of those guys who were just, I'm driving them to the airport.
Oh, I was too.
I wasn't even stopping the car.
I was too. Yeah, like I was.
I was just kicking him right out the door.
Yeah, tuck and roll. You know, like I was right there with you. And I'll tell you what, he's pitched his butt off for this team this year. He really has. He's kept them in games. He did everything that was asked of him to do. Now, granted, he shouldn't be making the money he's making, but hey, Phillies offered him that. He signed it. That's on the Phillies. But let's give the guy. I mean, the guy's given up probably 2 runs, maybe 3.
There hasn't been I can't think back until maybe the way beginning of the season to a point, and I'm not even saying I can remember an exact moment, but if it happened where we lost a game because Taijuan Walker, because he imploded or he just was throwing meatballs and all that stuff. He's any more home runs than any other pitcher did.
Listen, he's really doing. I mean, he's doing really good work. I mean, for a 5th starter,
had 2 pickoffs on Friday, might I add?
Yeah, yeah. I felt bad for him. I felt like he should have gotten the win on Friday. But again, I just said that in our opening now before you join me. I said Duran got in this weekend. You got to see that Duran's human, and the Nats got to him. Yeah. But hey. it is what it is. Sometimes you're going to have to learn to live with that. He gave up a couple hits last night. I think he's still settling in. I think that bullpen's going to get better as it goes. I'm really worried about Strom. Strom to me doesn't look nowhere near like the confident guy he was. So
who's your rotation? If your pitcher goes, every pitcher goes 5 innings. You need a 6, 7, 8, 9 guy. Who's not based on matchups. I know matchups play a factor on there, but you're from a confidence level. And guys, feel free to message in who you think your 4 guys are, because I would like to hear what everybody thinks here.
You got to
go. Who are your 4 guys from 6, 7, 8 to 9? And I know most people's 9, and if it's not, it's probably
you're talking. You're talking about regular season
right now. Like if you're going to the postseason,
right now you're doing,
and you have to go 6, 7, 8, 9 bullpen hit pitchers. Who are you choosing?
I'm doing Strom in the 6th. I'm doing what's up, Steve? Strom in the 6th. Kirkering in the 7th. Alvarado in the 8th, and then Duran in the 9th.
No. You can't do Alvarado.
I just said right now we're during the season.
I said if we're going into the postseason now. Yeah.
Well, then you move everybody back an inning, and you put Tanner Banks in the 6th. You put Banks in the 6th, Strom in the 7th, Kirkering in the 8th, and then you go with Duran.
Yeah.
You don't Joe Ross and Romano. I mean, you can throw Romano up there in the 6th inning. Well, I don't want to see him nowhere near.
I imagine that Taijuan Walker moves to the pen.
That I could see.
Maybe Luzardo if Ranger. Like, listen, Ranger is the kind of guy that can usually rise to occasions, especially in the postseason. That man gets definitely juiced. And maybe this is the gut check moment, because he's on a contract year. Don't forget, Ranger, like, this could make or break Ranger's career right here if he gets paid. Take away from Friday night, JT needs to call more curveballs. Even if it hangs, people's timings are all off. I'm gonna sit here and do this. I'm actually gonna take my flowers on this one. And I don't think Mikey fell into this category as much, but JT Realmuto, since June 1st, is the second best average in National League batting. He has moved to the number 4 spot because he has been very clutch. He hit the go-ahead home run. Now, I know on Friday he had that error thrown to third base, trying to get the guy out. I'll take my lumps on that one, but 9 times out of 10, that man is making that throw. Okay, so this wasn't a playoff game. I'm okay with it. I think it was a playoff game. He doesn't pull that trigger as easily. Yeah, Mike, that's kind of where we're all at. Do you want Robertson there? Do you put Robertson over Strom at this point?
I would, and I forgot about Robertson. So as I'm like going down, I'm like trying to think of everything.
So Steve's he still got Strom in the 8th.
Yeah, I don't. He giving up way too many home run balls for me.
Another guy I think is more of a game or two. I think you'll see a little bit difference with him in the playoffs, but we'll find out. And can I add, by the way, I'm just going to throw out I'm not usually the Banks, Kirkering, Robertson, Durant. Oh, he's got Robertson in the 8th spot over Kirkering. Okay, all right, Adam. I like where you're going here. I can see this, but can I just add this in? Last year, I don't know if did I miss this the years before? Was I just not paying attention, Mike Lauro, or was it just last year he did this? Or he flipped the bullpen on its head, where guys who would normally come out in the 8th and 9th spot came out 6th or 7th spot and
he did that last year.
He didn't do it the year before, right?
No.
If he does that again, I may lose. Like Rob will be getting fired. I will be on the Mike Papernick train, and whoever else is on the fire Rob Thompson train. If he flips this thing on its head in the playoffs, like I was vomiting when I saw him. Like, why is he doing it?
What was it? He brought a Stevison in like the 7th inning or something like that in the game. Yeah,
I would normally be in that closing spot, 8, 9 spot. He had 6, 7 spot, and vice versa.
Yeah,
it's almost like he's in his brain. He's like, well, maybe if we just shut them down early and keep them from getting those runs, they're going to be less likely to get runs in the 8th, 9th, and they're going to be in the 6th, 7th. But you're reinventing baseball or something, literally at the playoffs. No, sorry, no. And it wasn't like, okay, one game he did it because of the matchups or something like that. It was every game, and I that was one of the reasons I almost punched the TV. I mean, one of the many reasons last postseason. I'm putting Robertson way before Kirk. I'll see a deer in headlights look in Kirk's eyes, high stress.
Well, I mean, people also got to realize too, like, it's going to take him a minute. He's still a young guy. I think,
But he's also been there, what, twice now?
yeah.
This is the second
I
year?
mean, he came up in what, 22, right? So, yeah, he was there. I mean, 23, I think he came up, yeah.
Because he pitched in, because didn't he get lit up one time in the Arizona series? Was that him?
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, last year with the Mets series, that nobody did well on that one. On JT dropped a dime throwing out that runner yesterday. Yeah, that's my thing. Is 9 times out of 10, Adam. Like, I understand he's older, but he's still one of the fastest catchers, if not the fastest catcher in Major League Baseball right now. He is still, his bat is definitely much more comfortable at the plate. I'll admit, beginning of the season and half of last year, it was like throwing a pea down the lane to him. He couldn't see the ball if his life depended on it. So he did struggle, but the man, he's ageless in some ways, and I think he's our catcher for the next year or two at least.
Oh, I think so. I think they
It's
re-signed him.
got to be probably 2 years because I don't think he's signing 1 year. I think somebody will take him for at least 2 years. So I don't know if anybody takes him more than 2 years, maybe 3 years, just because they want to lock him up. Durant can be hit way less when he changes speeds more. Just fireballing ain't going to fly in the playoffs. Yeah, I wonder about that, man. I do wonder about that a little bit, like just 102 every time. I think it also depends on who you're pitching against. You know what I mean? And plus, the way he throws hard, you can't just change. I mean, his off-speed stuff's still faster than other people's
Nice baseball. Yeah.
Like a slider that's usually 89 is 97 in his world. You know what I mean? It's like, if Alvarado doesn't get suspended, do you think the Phillies make the trade for Duran, or will they trade for a big bat?
I think they would have went big bat because they would have had Alvarado for the ninth. They would have lived and died with Alvarado this year. They wouldn't have made the trade.
No, I'm going to disagree on this. I on your take. I think. Listen, Alvarado was here last year. Alvarado was here for the first part of the season before he got busted, and there was no Alvarado was definitely the stone cold closer, put in there every time. I still think that if they have the opportunity to get Duran, because it's like, okay, well, you can add another Cy Young caliber starting pitcher. Do you not put that in there? So you have a 3-man rotation with 3 Cy Young pitchers. So why wouldn't you have one of the best closers in the league with Alvarado being your setup man? Because then, then you're having Kerkering, Alvarado, Duran, 7, 8, 9. I can live with that.
I don't know. I think they would have went big bat. I don't think they would have. I think him getting suspended is what kind of pushed them to go get the run. So we have to wait.
I think they sucked before he got suspended too. I don't see how that changes. If Esteves' all chips move in the 6th inning last year, personified Al's vomit reflex.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, seriously. I'm usually like, hey, he's a skip. He's a manager. He's the player. He knows better than this lump of clay who's sitting on the sitting on the couch watching him playing armchair manager. But that move made no sense. Like that was like Howie Roseman, like when he was drafting, picking guys out of schools that nobody gave a crap about, like just trying to be the smartest man in the room movement. And I didn't like that. Like sometimes you have to go with what's tried and true, by the way. So just leave Marchand out in the dust. Is that all you're saying, Al? Come on, kid can play, not getting his shot. Oh, Dave, are you like Marchand's like stepfather or something? Like, am I like?
I don't know. Did I miss something here?
Am I hurting the feelings of our backup catcher? I mean, come on, Dave. I love you to death, buddy, but because I'm not giving the backup catcher enough credence.
Please, the backup catcher. He's the backup catcher for a reason.
Yeah, because if we weren't, we wouldn't be having a conversation about JT last year or this year if Marchand was as good as you're making him out to be. I'm not saying he couldn't start maybe in some teams, but not over JT Realmuto. I'm sorry. It's got to stop. There's got to be some love somewhere. Give me a second to rant here because I'm going to back my boy Jacob here. JT is he is not, if not one of the top catchers in baseball. Got to put it out there. Maybe at least top 5, right? It could probably be top 3 or more in my case. And listen, love the man. I wanted him signed way before they signed him. I was on the JT train, and I've stayed on that train the entire time, even when JT struggled. I admit to when he struggled. But Dave, you're going to sit here and you're going to give me a hard time because I'm not giving the backup catcher enough love? Because you're the only guy in the Delaware Valley who owns a Marchand jersey, maybe, Dave? I don't know. I don't know how that has anything to do with all the tea in China. Like, where does this go?
I don't know, but like, look at the eye test. Like, I don't want to hear. Like, if Marchand was better than JT, Marchand would be playing over JT. He's clearly not better than he is, and he almost. People forget too. It was kind of a coin flip between him and Garrett Stubbs. Okay, I mean a legit coin flip. So come on, man, coming on here with that nonsense. I mean, God, yes, I like Marchand. I think he could be an everyday catcher, but he's not ready to be an everyday catcher right now.
Real quick, I want to touch on what Steve's talking about, but Steve, I'm going to come back to it in like one moment because I want to finish this Phillies point because we're going to move on anyway.
Yeah.
Marchand needs reps to be effective. I do believe he can start for other teams. Yeah,
I believe that too, but he can't start on this one.
If JT went down and Marchand had to step up, I wouldn't hate it because I believe him as long as he can stay. His problem was always staying healthy. Could he be the catcher of a future somewhere? Either here in Philly or here or somewhere else. I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere else before he's here, unless they decide to just run with him next year if they feel comfortable because of his health. I agree with Adam here. He's a better backup than Stubbs.
Yeah, I agree there.
That's a in my eyes, a non-question. But it's like I just don't get it. Like he's not better than JT. He's a good backup, but why are we having this conversation? And to sit there and come at me when I'm talking about how good JT's doing, second best batting average in the National League since June 1st, not since the All-Star break, which was a while ago, but June 1st. And one of the best defensive catchers, still throws an MFer out like it's nobody's business. Dave
got you fired up. Dave got you fired up this morning.
Yeah, but it's a ridiculous notion that we're not worried about the backup catcher right now. No, that's like I'm not worried about the fifth starter in a rotation when it comes to the playoffs. Okay, he's not playing. He's on the bench. He becomes a backup in case JT gets hurt or if they need a bat off the bench. That's what he becomes. He's a non-question or a non-option at that point.
I think the Phillies are getting Painter ready in case Nola fizzles out. That could be. And this one was cool too. He said Chooch wasn't ready until he was 26. Sometimes people don't remember that.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely right. So let's real quick jump on this question and we'll move into Eagles football.
Yes.
So as everybody knows, I'm a Penn State guy and Mike's a Penn State guy.
Obviously.
And I'm not Irish enough to care about Notre Dame. So I know I'm going to upset many people making many comments in the next minute or two here. But yeah, so as Steve mentioned here, Notre Dame said the original leprechaun logo is going to stay, but they're going to have a more specific leprechaun for each sport, like one holding a football, I guess, one shooting a basketball, I guess, or something like that. I don't know if you guys have seen this. And Steve, number one, I think they were trying to change it all together because they're trying to make it more 2025, 2026, like less fighting, more wholesome, maybe. And I think I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if I was a Notre Dame fan, there would be huge backlash coming for me for changing that logo that's been around, 60 years or something, they said, something like that.
Yeah, well, the leprechaun needs to be carrying a toilet. That would be the only hat I'd buy.
Yeah, that I would wear.
That I would wear, but
this is coming from a guy who's been to South Bend 3 times.
Yeah, I'll never go unless Penn State's playing there.
I went there. I had friends who used to put Notre Dame trips together when I was younger. It was just fun to go drink and have a good time. I could care less about going in the games, but yeah, Steve posted that out on Twitter. I commented to it right away, and I said, "Well, now they're not the Fighting Irish anymore. The what I call emotionally stable Irish in a French school, because it is a French school, Just going to keep throwing it out there to all you Notre Dame fans. It is a French school, okay, who are the Fighting Irish. Figure that one out. And you don't
Yeah.
have to like something because you're Irish and something says Irish in it.
Yeah, I'm half Irish. I'm Irish and Italian, and I guess what? Like all my mom's side of the family, my aunts, my uncles, they were all Notre Dame fans. We used to show up to watch Penn State Notre Dame at my uncle's house. We used to do it every year. I used to walk in there wearing blue and white, and my uncle go,
Yeah.
"Oh, nephew of mine, you hurt my heart." I was like, "That's all right. My football team's going to hurt your pride today."
Yeah. Well, actually I remember I called them the even-tempered Irish.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they're gonna have one logo where it's helping a little old lady up across the street or something like that. You know, it's gonna be something stupid.
I know my boy Paul Spencer. He's a Notre Dame guy. I will say this: I love to razz him during this time of year, but he's actually got one on me because Notre Dame actually beat Penn State last year in the football playoff. So until they
I
meet
heard
again,
for weeks. I heard about it for weeks. I know.
that's all right. Like I said, they always got a chance this year for redemption. But Al, we got to move on and talk about this Eagles football team.
Yep.
As you well know, I had to endure the third preseason game. Steve, you're welcome.
Why?
I covered Steve for the post game. That's why I said you. Yeah,
I meant Nooms. I wasn't sure.
No. Fuentes, you're welcome.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that.
Fenentes, yes, as Pat would say. We're going to do a thing too of over and under. We should get like a little counter of how many donuts Pat's probably stuffing down his face right about now since he ain't been on.
It's 27.
Yeah, probably. He goes and gets 2 dozen donuts, one for the family and the other one's for him. But I like this, man. Talking about this, I have the depth chart right here that's in front of me. Now, granted, the Eagles didn't make no cuts yet that I know of. I've been looking to see if they've been making any cuts, and nothing has been done as of yet. We all know Hurts and McKee are making the team. This backup, this third quarterback, I don't see any way of Dorian Robinson staying here.
McCord Mize isn't really
he's not moving the needle, but he's a lot better than.
But I think he has a higher upside. Dorian Thompson Robinson, or however you say it, is, to me, he's had chances to suck, and he has.
Yeah, he has. All right, here's another question.
I think they liked him because he was kind of like a guy that they could practice against who could mimic a Jalen Hurts style of play, and they like those kind of guys. So they can, and if the guy goes down, if he does work out, he can, they don't have to change the playbook drastically.
Now, my thing is this. I'm going to move on to the running backs, right? How many of these guys are you keeping? Right now, it's Barkley and Shipley, our starter and second string.
That's who I'm keeping.
You got AJ.
Those three right there. There's Barkley, Shipley, AJ Dillon. That's it. Done.
You're keeping them three. All right, so you're not going to. Yeah. All right, so I'm wondering if they're going to keep one of these guys. I like the kid Robinson. I think he's really good, and I like Johnson too. I mean, I feel like they can probably sneak a couple of them on the practice.
Marshall Johnson is probably a little higher up on the list.
Yeah.
And I think he's stuffed on the practice squad somewhere if possible.
I would like to see that.
They might even stuff two of them on there, like Robinson, because one of them might get picked up.
All right, here's the big one. Wide receiver. How many do you think they're going to go? I say they're going 6 wide receivers this year. I think they're going to go 6.
So we can agree there's 3 with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and
Jahan Dotson. Yep.
So that leaves you with, and we all know Johnny Wilson's out because he's out for the season, so you don't even have to talk about him. So that leaves Elijah Cooks.
Hold on, I got the list right here, Al. I got it's Menchie, John Menchie, Terrence Marshall Jr., Amelia Smith, Cooper, Darius Cooper, Elijah Cooks, Arian Williams, Morton, Obey, and Johnny Wilson's actually out. So, I want to. I personally, if we're going down this route, I don't think Terrence Marshall's going to make the team, even though he was kind of shining early on because of I think Cooper's making the team. I think this Darius Cooper's making the team. I think the Eagles are going to keep him. And I think with Johnny Wilson, too, a lot of people think that Johnny Wilson was going to make this team as a wide receiver. I don't. I think he's going to. I think he was. I think they were going to move him to like a tight end type of thing. Yeah, I see this, and I'm like,
I'll respond at the last right before we leave. All right.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll respond to it, Dave. So hang in tight.
Yeah, hang in, man. We're talking about our football team here. But yeah, I mean, out of these guys, I think Smith has shown flashes, especially throughout this training camp. You know what I mean? So if I'm looking at it, if they're going to keep 6, I say it's Brown, Smith, Dotson, Menchie. I think Smith and Cooper are your 6 wide receivers. I don't think Darius Cooper's
6. Remember, as he said, special teams will play a factor into this final decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I was just going off wide receiver, I'm going to say Cooks would be. You probably have Cooks, Smith, and Mechie. Is it Mechie? Mechie the third? Is it John Mechie? Right? Am I saying that right?
Mechie. Yeah,
Mechie. I think if you're looking purely from wide receiver standpoint, those are your 3. Not that I'm looking past Marshall or Williams. I know people have been high on Cooper, but I just don't see him. I don't see him making the team. Maybe a practice squatter. That could fluctuate based on who's been better on special teams too. So that's why I hate this. You go 5 or 6. I think you go 6 easily, just because special teams.
All right. Do you think another one I'm hoping to see is the tight end? Who's going to back up Goddard and Quintera? Is it going to be Granson? Is it going to be E.J. Jenkins? Who do you think it's going to be?
Wait, what was that again?
I said backing up Quintera and Goddard. Do you think it's going to be Granson or E.J. Jenkins?
I'm going to go Kylan Granson.
Yeah, I am too.
Just by an edge. By an edge.
I think he was a lot better. Here's another one that I think we're gonna flip sides of the ball now. Look at the end. This end to me is just. I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, here we go.
So we're looking at defensive edge right now. That's what
yes.
Yes.
Right.
Who do you got locked in right now?
Right now it says, all right, I just had him. Oh, here it is.
Nolan Smith definitely. Jalix Hunt definitely. I'm saying Ojulari is a definite in my eyes.
Oh no, they have it right here. It's Jalix Hunt. They have Josh Uche as his backup with Patrick Johnson and Pal Ryland as his backup. They said they have it listed as strong side linebacker is what they have them guys listed as. Weak side, yes, weak side linebacker. Now this is NBC Sports or CBS Sports rather.
I'm actually looking at the Eagles depth chart on their website as of right now. That's what I'm going
by. They have Nolan Smith on the weak side. Ojulari is his backup with Mathis and Orlando.
So the Eagles have 2 edge spots. So edge spot 1 is, I guess that would be the right side. Nolan Smith, and then backing him up is Ojulari, and then I call him Double O. I'm not going to try. We have too many O's on this team.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, Jalix Hunt, backed up by Joshua Uche, Patrick Johnson, and then Anton Powell Ryland Jr. As the 4th in the line, which I know everybody was pretty high on him. What do you think about APR on that one?
I like APR. I think he's going to make the team. I don't think they're going to cut him because he does have a potential. And I think
these are 8 edge guys. How many edge guys do you think they're carrying?
6. I think Uche's going. I think Uche
and Mathis are out.
I think Mathis and Orlando are going. I think they keep everybody else because you're going to have. They like to keep 6 edge rushers. You know what I mean? And if you're looking,
so you say Agbo and Mathis are both out.
They're both. They're gone.
They're keeping Uche, Johnson, and APR.
Yep. I think they're gonna keep them. And I'll tell you what.
I wouldn't be surprised that nothing you said there is like shocking. Like, oh no, I'm gonna push back on that one hard.
Now this is something that I'm not getting here. This it has right cornerback, left cornerback. They have Adoree Jackson as the starter. I don't think Adoree Jackson, if they do name him the starter,
The currently on the Eagles website, the two CB spots are Quinyon and Adoree Jackson. Actually, so technically, the Eagles have Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo in the one spot. If you look at their depth chart, yeah, they're stacked up on it.
Yeah, because I'm like, I liked what Parry Nickerson brought to this team. I feel like he should make the team. I think Eli Ricks should make the team as well. So I mean,
so right now, if you're looking at the Eagles depth chart on their website, it's Quinyon with Ricks backing him up, and then Tariq Castro Fields backing him up, which I'm thinking he's your odd man out.
I think he's your odd man out there. Woods is going to be your odd man out in the slot, and so is Johnson going to be your odd man out.
Question: if they have slotted on the left side, they have Adoree Jackson / Keely Ringo at the number 1 spot. The number 2 spot's wide open, so obviously they're going to move one of those guys into the number 2 spot. Is Jacorian Bennett out?
No, I think he stays. I'll tell you right now who I think they keep.
You're carrying 5?
Yeah, easily.
Okay.
You got Adoree Jackson, Quinyon Mitchell, right? And you figure right here, if you're looking between the three, because you figure they do a lot of three-man wide receivers now. So,
sorry.
So I'm sitting here looking at it, Al. Really, they have between all the cornerbacks, between left, right, and slot. All right. Your starters are going to be Adoree Jackson, one cornerback. The other cornerback is Quinyon. Coop is in the slot. All right. And then if you look at their backups, it's going to be Ringo, Bennett, Mick Williams. Mick Williams is not getting let go. There's no way. If they were to let that kid go, there would be an uprising. But I think Woods and Johnson, who they have slotted as third team on here, I think they both go. And I think Castro Fields goes. You know what I mean? Leaving Perry, Eli Ricks to back them up. Because
so they have, it's funny how the Eagles depth chart has them as an NCB. So right now, so they have 2 safety positions, they have 2 CBs, and then they have an NCB.
Yeah, they have right now starting on CBS as I'm looking. They have Sidney Brown and Blankenship starting at safety with Tristan McCullum and Andrew Makuba as the backups. And then third is Lewis Seen. I think they keep on to him because he's a vet.
So right now, if you're looking at their depth chart, and this is like their real thoughts right now, like this is how they felt about the team right now. So like I said, your starting right now is Quinyon Mitchell, and then a slash between Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo on the other side. Then they have as an NCB, which is Cooper DeJean. And then your 2 safeties are Reed Blankenship, and then it's Sidney Brown / Andrew Makuba. So they slash both.
Okay.
He's in the safety position. So
right, and then like this is what kills me too. Like you're looking right here, it says left inside linebacker. Right, the left inside linebacker they have is Zach Bond. They have his backup as Jahad Campbell. Where it says right inside linebacker N'Kobe Dean, he's out, and then you have Trotter. You have Trotter, and then you have Munden. And then Dixon. I think out of these linebackers, I think Dixon gets cut and Campbell gets cut. I think they keep Grant and Munden. I do. I think Grant played himself on to the team Friday night. He had a really good third and fourth quarter when he got in there.
So maybe I don't know if they're telling us something here. So I'm looking at the linebacker position. They have the 2 slot. I'm sorry, 2 slots for the linebacker, right? So they have 2 of them slotted in here, and Zach Bond, of course, and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and your 2. Behind them is Jahad Campbell and Small Mondin Jr. They don't even have N'Kobe Dean slotted on here. Is it because of his injury still?
Yeah. Well, here they got the little red X, next to his name, but they have everybody that's like kind of listed. But I'm liking what I'm saying, and you know what else I'm liking too? I'm liking our defensive tackle rotation. The 6 guys they have here, I think can really, really help. I mean, nose tackle, they got Jordan Davis, Ty Robinson, Jay Evans. Okay. Then they have, I don't know why they have it as, they have Jalen Carter listed as a defensive end. Like, this thing is so funny.
Well, yeah, that must be so they have 3 DT spots on defense on the Eagles website, and it's Carter, Davis, and Ajomo, of course. And then their backups are Gabe Hall, Ty Robinson, and Brian Young. And then it's Rogers and Sykes.
Yep. And like I love the first six. The first six are there. I think that could be an awesome rotation. And I think Gabe Hall's definitely played his way onto this team. He had a really good, like he stood out. Him and Ty Robinson really kind of stood out in those games when they were playing against the twos. They really did. So and
So
besides,
he's on the pup list too. Okay, I didn't know he was on the pup list. I just thought he was on the injured list. So they said he's on the pup. Dean is pup. So that's
yeah,
probably why. So that's probably why they carry an extra linebacker that maybe would have not made the team normally. Okay,
yeah,
thank you, Dooms.
yeah, they can carry him up until he's ready to go, and then they can either release him or put him on the practice squad. You know what I
And
mean?
he's saying, thank you for pointing this out. I should have said it myself. The non-cornerback, or I call it the non-quarterback, the no cornerback. Meaning kind of like what Malcolm Jenkins was. He's a safety, but he could line up at linebacker. He can line up in the slot. Like you never know where he's going to be. So it's kind of like a Swiss Army knife position, if you want to call it that.
You know, I disagree with Steve's point about CB2 is going to drive us nuts all year. I really don't. I think Jaquan Bennett will overtake Adoree Jackson. I do because and don't I don't you know as much as we like Sidney Brown, they got him and Andrew Makuba kind of starting. If something were to go down to either Reed or Sidney, you could take Adoree Jackson and move him back to safety. If you watched, I believe it was the Browns game. You know, Adoree Jackson was playing safety in that game. I did the post game show for that, and that's the one thing I looked and seen the way Vic Fangio was using Adoree Jackson. He had him lining up playing. You know, he was playing safety for a good part of that game. He wasn't playing cornerback. So to me, I'm waiting to see like what they could do. Adoree Jackson might be too slow, I think, for a corner, but he could be just right to fill in at safety and help these guys out if something were to happen to Reed or Sidney going forward. Even though we have Makuba, you know, you want to kind of ease Makuba in, kind of like what he did with Coop last year.
Now, and they're saying that Nooms is saying Carter was listed at defensive end because of the 3-4 base system that they run, and I get it. I don't know why you would still classify him as an end just because they run a 3-4. Now, my question to you, Nooms, is do they continue to run the 3-4? Do they move to a 4-4 a little bit this year? Do you feel comfortable with the defensive tackles with Ajomo, Davis, and Carter, with those guys who back them up running a 3-4? Do you think with the CB position, it is up in the air a little bit? I maybe it's not going to be as frustrating as Steve Fenentes puts it out that it's going to be, but it's probably still going to be a place that people are going to throw to. I mean, let's be honest, call it for what it is. So my question to you is, do they continue the 3-4 base, or do you think they move to the 4-4?
You know, I can see them in certain spots moving to the 4-4. I don't think they're going to run it as much. This right here, I was looking at that. Mike, my only issue with that is if you're going to move Makuba into the slot, which they could do. He's definitely flexible. I would move him to the slot. I would move Adoree Jackson back to safety, not Sidney Brown. I am not sold on Sidney Brown as a safety. I don't think he's going to make it past week 3. To be honest with you, I think he's going to get hurt. You know what I mean? He's kind of reckless to me.
Well,
and
he's like a home run or nothing kind of guy.
yeah, and that's why I have no faith in him. I really don't. I don't have no faith in him as a safety. I would start Tristan McAuliffe over him, or Tristan McCollum. I would start him over Sidney Brown. I really would. McCollum.
So you're not a Maxton Hook kind of guy.
No, I mean, listen. I'd like to have a guy.
Just messing with you.
I like Sam better.
Yeah, they did run 5-2, and listen, I'm not against the 5-2. It's not something you can run all time, Steve, especially with this team. Especially as you think about it, they ran the 5-2 a lot in 2022. And that's because they had such a strong up front. It allowed our cornerbacks to look better than they were, I think, to be honest with you. It took a lot of those glaring holes away because they put so much pressure on the quarterback that it caused them to, have to throw early or something. I don't know if they have to do that this year because with Quignon, with those guys, and with the kind of pressure you can get, I'm telling you right now, keep your eye on Jordan Davis. Contract year. Guy's got a lot to prove. This could be it's a make or break year for Jordan Davis's career.
You know who I'm liking on this defense this year, Al? And I think he's going to have a really good year, Ojulari. If he can stay healthy, I think he helps this team out a ton. And I like Jalix Hunt. I really do. But I feel like if Ojulari can stay healthy, he's going to supplant Jalix Hunt as
that'd be surprising. Because Jalix is Vic Fangio's guy.
I know he is. And
I'll sit there going, wait, you took this guy from this place? Could you take him like later round, like get somebody else?
Yeah, I like it, but I look at it like this, man. We have our thoughts, but it's really right now we're like 10 days away, 11 days away from when it kicks off for real. When we get the Dallas Cowboys in the lake, we drop that banner in front of Jerry Jones, and then the Eagles are just going to go. I'm sorry, I've been calling this game since the schedule came out. I don't think Dallas is a bad team. I don't think they're on the Eagles level. I think the Eagles are blowing them out opening week. I really do.
Here's my thing is I don't know about blowing them out because you just know how week one is such a crapshoot with teams because guys haven't played yet. Starters haven't played yet. And it's just the rust isn't off yet for most of these guys. And I just don't think it's so hard for me to pick anybody week 2. Week 1 and week 18 are the hardest picks to make just based on because in week 18 you don't know who's playing and not playing and who's in the playoffs and not in the playoffs and who's all that kind of stuff. But this week 1 guys haven't played yet. They really haven't had
listen, but you also got to look at it like that too. The Cowboys haven't played either. And they got a brand new coach. I mean, I know the guy was their offensive coordinator last year, but I'm going to keep reiterating this when it comes to the Cowboys. Yes, he was their offensive coordinator, but they were running Mike McCarthy's offense. They weren't running Schottenheimer's offense. So they had to relearn a new offense.
Are you trying to say that Schottenheimer is just not going to cut it?
No, I think he can be a good coach. I think he can be a better coach other than in Dallas. Like nobody can thrive in Dallas because you got an owner that doesn't want to relinquish stuff, and he still thinks he's a good GM, and he's not. He's not. Like,
well, you heard how he had some experimental cancer treatment that saved his life. It's called selling your soul to the devil, and he will live to 137 years old.
And I hope he doesn't see another Super Bowl.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
Dallas fans won't see another Super Bowl until he's gone out of this.
You know what's going to be ironic thing, and I hope this happens. For as much as they talk about Dak down there, right? For as much, it would be so iconic if he were to leave the Cowboys. Just say the Cowboys after this year say, you know what, we're not paying you $60 million a year. Matter of fact, we're going to let you walk. And then he goes somewhere else and he wins a Super Bowl. I think that would be so great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is it Dak's luck or is it Dak not being able? Is Dak like Lamar Jackson? He's a good player, good athlete. Just somebody posted. I was retweeted something said they saw a picture of Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels hugging at the end of the game. And they said, oh, man, how many Super Bowls are these guys going to win? I'm like, Lamar Jackson isn't new to the NFL. And he can't get over, like, he talk about choking. I mean, he chokes.
Yeah, I know. And here's the thing that kills me. They all put this guy ahead of Hurts. Like, I'm sorry. They make it seem like Baltimore didn't have no offensive pieces down there. Like they got a Hall of Fame worthy tight end down there. They got another Hall of Fame running back down there. And they had some pretty decent wideouts down there too. Zay Flowers is pretty good. He's a good young wide receiver. They had some pretty good wide receivers, but you know what? He doesn't get penalized for that. Where like they do with Jalen Hurts. The whole national narrative is, oh, well, he got Saquon Barkley. He got A.J. Brown. He got Devontae Smith. So you're going to hold it against Jalen because of who he's throwing it to?
Well,
and who
Steve Young have? Who do these? Everybody.
Steve Young, yeah, exactly. Steve Young, they consider one of the greatest of all times. Oh, I'm sorry. Look at the wide receivers he had to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
He went from Jerry Rice and John Taylor. He went right down to, Terrell Owens and what was the other guy that was on the opposite side of Owens that was really good? I'm trying to Ty Street, I think, or whatever. I kid from Michigan. I can't remember his name, but he was really, really good. And I'll tell you what, like again, you want to hold people accountable, but let's look at it. You look at it. Lamar's only beaten. I think he's 1-1 against Jalen. Patrick Mahomes is what 2-2 against Jalen now. So he's 2-2 against Jalen. I mean, he's already I think he's 1-0 against Josh Allen. Is Jalen? So I mean, all these top quarterbacks, that Jalen's had to play, he's outdueled them. He's outplayed them. At least the last few times they played them. So to me, I try not to worry about the hate on that. I think he's going to go down as revered, is because they want to see him put that team on his back.
Mhm.
This is what they want to see. Well, I'm sorry, did Joe Burrow put the team on his back in the Super Bowl when they played against the Rams? No.
Well, the Bengals, I thought, I feel are going to turn kind of into the Cowboys in a small way, not like the villainous kind of crew that they are, but I'm just talking like you got a guy that they're paying a lot of money. You got some good wide receivers. You're paying a lot of money. They're not going to be able to put any good blind linemen in front of them. Their defense is going to be. They're just pot committed on 4 guys. I mean, and then everybody else is just going to be, bargain basement guys.
I mean, you got a guy right now that's on their defense that led the NFL in sacks that they don't want to pay the guy. Their number 1 draft pick. They were putting wording in his contract where the kid was like, "Yo, I'm not signing this.
Mm-hmm.
You need to take that out." You know what I mean? Like it was all like to me, the Bengals remind me of how can I put it? They're like they're a bad team, but they get kind of lucky with some picks and they become a somewhat decent team, but the owner doesn't want to spend no money.
Well, what's going to happen is, I think you're gonna, if they fall on their face again this year and he keeps getting beat up, a certain Joe Barrows is going to ask out.
Oh, I can see that. I can definitely see that. But looking as we're getting ready to wind this down, Al, let's wind it down. So, what is your meal of the day today, bud? Do you know what you're doing?
Well, I'm actually heading out to a pool party in a little bit. I had to make, of course, my mother volunteers me to make my smoked mac and cheese on the smoker, which is fine. It's not a hard dish to make. It's just a long dish. I had to get up very early this morning and then start prepping this thing and then let it cook and cook and cook while I've been talking. And I had of course, I'm setting it. I put it in there. I come down here 10 minutes, 15 minutes before the show starts to come jump on here with you. And the internet sucks. And I had something we had a little, I don't know, a brownout or whatever. I had to reset it. It was a thing, but so I'm gonna get a barbecue. So that's
so you're gonna be eating lots of wieners. That's all right. I'm eating wieners too. Today.
Pat's coming over.
Yeah. I actually got we got cheddar sausages, cheddar filled sausages. We're gonna grill them up. I got some chili I'm gonna throw on top of it.
I was at for those who are from Delco and are familiar with this, Booth's Corners is a farmer's market / flea market, like one of those ones where it's constant. It's only Fridays and Saturdays. A cow town for those who are familiar with that kind of stuff. And they have the Mennonites and the butchers and all that stuff with all the great meats and produce. So yesterday I was up there literally writing on my phone. I had a notepad, but it was on my phone. I'm typing in I'm making notes about our barbecue that we're gonna have. And I'm oh, okay, I can get this brisket, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. It's gonna be a time.
Oh, yeah, definitely would be. But I'm doing that, and I'm also I'm actually doing a corn Mexican street corn dip. I'm actually going to be making as well. That's going to be for the Phillies game. But yeah, the sausage.
Dude, Mexican street corn is like everything on a few. Like me, I'm a smoker griller guy, and I get all the YouTube reels and videos and all that of it. That's all I see anymore. And some of that stuff does look amazing.
Oh, dude, it basically it's all the cheese. It's it's the different.
Yeah, but they had one they were blending basil, and they're all making this whole sauce. They were dipping the thing into, and then they're putting it in there, and they're grilling the corn. It looked freaking amazing.
Yeah, that's what they do, man. So, well, we're going to leave now, guys. Don't forget, Maddie P will have you on the coverage today. I'm
all positive. It's going to be all positive. Happy stuff.
Sunshine and rainbows. There is your lineup. Maddie P, as you see, will be taking. This is the Mets series coming in. I will have you on Monday, Steve on Tuesday, Maddie B on Wednesday. And guys, don't forget the Flyers or I should say 24-25 season review show tonight with me and Maddie B at 7. So make sure you guys tune in for that.
You're doing a review show for last season, like 3 months before the regular season starts.
Yeah, the boss said we have to do it. So, I got to go back and find my Flyers notebook and like go through some of the stuff. But yeah,
all the dust blows off of it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
all right, guys.
Else?
No, man. We will see you guys next week.
All right, same bad time, same bad channel. Other than that, guys, have a great night, great day. Go Phils, and we're out of here.